Generally, I do book reviews, but today there was the beginning of this 2025 FIDE World Cup in Goa, India, and of course there were a lot of exciting and interesting games. So I took out this botanic floor chess set, and I would like to show you some of the games because I don't think there were really upsets. All the highest rated guys totally destroyed the lower rated, and this is, I think it's quite interesting because in the books we have like two different books. I think one made by Max Ove, the former world champion, where you have amateur against masters and you can learn a lot. I don't think, honestly, in the FIDE World Cup there are amateurs at all, but the difference in rating can show us something, okay? So the game number one was Abugenda Nagi, which is a player from Libya, and he was born in 1986 against Erdogmus Yagiz Khan. That is a very young grandmaster from Turkey, and so Abugenda is rated 1972, while Erdomus is 2651. I don't know if you can imagine 2651 at 14. That's amazing. So the white player opens with e4, e6, d4, d5, and here he tries to play e takes d5, maybe because he thinks he's gonna win with this kind of variation, I don't know. E takes d5, bishop d3, maybe he was trying to draw against the highest rated player. But sometimes in order to draw, you need really to do some kind of very sharp lines, more than something drawish. Because a grandmaster like Erdomus probably is kind of expert also in this kind of drawish line, and he will go into an endgame that he knows how to win. c3, bishop d6, h3, knight g e7. Obviously, generally here there could be a maneuver like this, knight g6 and knight f4, so attacking here, so that's why it's here. But not only, it's here because if you play bishop g5, he will be able to do this. So this move is kind of interesting. And we are just at move 6, guys. It seems that it took a long time to think at move 6. You know why, guys? Because I think there is a timestamp here, so that's the advantage with the new games, that you can see how long they took. To play h3 it took 1 minute and 9 seconds. To play this it took 13 minutes and 52 seconds. That's a lot, right? Especially because we are just at move 6. This is the French exchange. It should be a kind of variation that you know, right? If you play e6, the French, you should know the exchange. Kind of interesting. Queen f3. Guys, I like these pieces for a reason. They are a repro of the botanic floor match pieces, but obviously differently from the pieces of the time, they are kind of heavy, very heavy. So that's, in my opinion, is the pleasant thing, and these big bases are really interesting to see. Generally, I don't like small pieces. I like bigger pieces because of my hands, but this is a very heavy, so it's pleasant to lift. It's like weightlifting. Okay, so queen f3. After queen f3, what does black play? Well, black play a sideline but he thinks 15 minutes to play this move, which is castle. So kind of interesting, huh? So also white plays knight ge2, and now he plays knight g6. Here it's white that is thinking a long time, and the funny thing is this, thanks to seeing that the timestamp, we can infer something. For example, white played this, h4, and it took 16 minutes to play this move. I don't know if this is the case. We are out of fury at move 9, because this is a novelty. What could have played before? Well, it seems this is thanks to the database, so you can see immediately with a chess database like ChessBase what was played. Queen h5 was the move played in 2002 between two players in Buenos Aires, in an open in Buenos Aires. Now I could show you the line, but honestly I don't care a little bit, because I'm not a grandmaster. I don't think to see this line it's important for us. But this move was giving equality, while this h4 it's not so good. Why? Because of course black could have made a mistake, like playing rook takes, knight takes h4, but who would do that with this, and this? Come on, this doesn't make any sense. Obviously knight takes h4 is not a move that someone should think or entertain even for a second. Instead, you know what black played? Black played rook e8, and this rook e8 gave white a slightly less good position than the one black had. Now, after rook e8, what do you think white played? Because white made a mistake. Now, what could white play in this position? I would think this would be kind of, I don't know, logical, right? As a move. Because ask the question to black, what are you going to do? Are you going to do this and make everything weaker? Or what are you going to do, right? So I don't know. I think after this, probably black needs to return back, and white can continue the development, and it's perfect. Not perfect, but I mean it's a good position for white, right? Instead, white played this move, g3. Boo. g3 doesn't make any sense. But this is the thing, guys. In this position, now you can pause the video, because that's why I wanted to do a recap of the games just played today, because some people like me, they are working, they don't have time to watch the games during the day. Maybe they want to watch them at night when they come home, right? And see what happened. So, what would you play if you were black? Notice that Erdogmus took 66 minutes to find this move. So in 6 minutes and 46 seconds. So you could give yourself 5 minutes and see what you would play if you were black. I think it's a good exercise in this way. Okay? So I hope that you pause the video and try to guess the right move. The move that black played was boom, this, knight c, e5, killing practically white. Why? This is a tactic. After d takes e5, knight takes e5, right? There is this and this attack, right? So what should white do? White played queen takes d5, okay? And of course, probably there is this kind of attack. But black played this, and you still don't see how it's possible, right? That black is winning. And as you can see, tactics can be a kind of you need to watch very deep. In any case, white played this, trying to give a check there. Obviously, black played this. And here, of course, there is the alternative. What's the alternative? Are you going to take here, or are you going to escape? In the game, white played this. But let's see for a second what happens if he plays that move. The queen takes b7, right? If you play queen takes b7, this, boom, fall down, right? But it's not finished. What do you play? You play here, let's say, right? And then he continued to take here. And after this, there is this move that decide the game. Why decide the game? Because it opens the d file, and then this can go here and take one of the two. It's becoming a mess, right? So that's the reason why that move, taking that pawn, is not a good idea. Now let me return back. So the position was, I think, like this. He just played this. Let's see. This was here, 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 and this was here, right? So this was the position, if I got it right. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I think I got it right. So instead of taking here, he played queen e3. And notice, to play queen e3 took 23 minutes. So he was kind of sure of what he was playing. How does black continue? Black continue with this move. Bishop d5, not knight, bishop d5. Why did I say knight? Because I'm already seeing this check and the attack to the queen, right? So that's the point. Now, what do you do as white? If you play this move, obviously there is check. And after that, takes. I think at this point black has won the game, right? So it's not that you can continue to do much. So what did white play? Instead of castling, he played bishop f1. And after bishop f1, obviously, takes, bishop takes. And this is practically the end. Why? Because, oops, there is this move. And you say, what does it mean? Why cannot take here? Because this would be checkmate, right? So you have a problem on the back rank. Obviously, white played the queen g5. I don't know, guys, I think it's kind of evident what's gonna happen. The funny thing, if I may tell you guys, is this. There is a lot of title players that they all go to play online and they are 2,500 or more, right? And they cannot see stuff like this. They cannot see the fact that after queen g5, checkmate. So if you cannot see one move ahead, can you imagine? It's kind of ridiculous, right? That most of them cannot see one move ahead. And I understand it maybe use all this time thinking in the opening or in the middle game. But if you do that, if you think in the opening or the middle game, especially the opening, means that your openings were not good. So I don't know. Okay, so this was the game number 1 of the FIDE World Cup 2025 in Goa, India. And now, guys, let's watch another game from this beautiful tournament. Okay, the next game we are watching is a game that is longer than the one we just watched, but probably worth it. Why? Because, and here you can see the difference in preparation in a sense. The white player is Xiong Jeffery from United States of America, rated 2648, against Li Yiheng, rated 1994, from Hong Kong. And can you guess one thing? The Li Yiheng birthday was in 2012, which means he's just 13. But what's more interesting, in my opinion, is that he's just rated 1994, so less than 2000, right? And yet was able to resist against a grandmaster of the level of Xiong. He resisted like 44 moves. So it's a game that is played up to the endgame. So white plays with e4 and the Li Yiheng plays c5, knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, and knight c3. e6 to avoid that one of the two goes there. And of course, I hope you guys know this opening, right? This is the Najdorf, the famous Najdorf, which shows that his opponent, this young guy, is kind of very well prepared, because the Najdorf has so many lines. It's crazy, right? I mean, you need to learn it when you are 5 years old in order to be able to play it when you are 12. So after h3, e5, especially against the grandmaster. And here there is an interesting move, which is knight d e2. Instead, there could be a very interesting move, which is on knight b3. I think it's more interesting. But knight d e2 blocking this is clearly telling us something. And because you see, every time, especially when I have a strong player against me, I know that when they move a piece, there is a reason behind. They don't just move them for moving them. If he plays this, it means that he doesn't want to develop this on this diagonal. It means that we play this and this, or this and this. But for sure, he doesn't care anymore on that diagonal. So this move, in reality, tells us his intentions. Is telling us his intention. And in fact, here, black plays a very interesting move, that is h5, boom, because also black is a very smart kid. He understood that he wants to develop there, and so he wants already to attack on that side or prevent the expansion on that side. But this means also something else. Obviously, I never saw this game because, again, I don't have time during the day to watch the games. But if you really want to do this and this, or this and this, I'm sorry, it makes sense that he will castle on that side. So if he castle on that side, oh my god, I have already opened this C file to attack. So it's really going to be a sharp game, in my opinion. Also, if I didn't see it, I already know that these guys are going to really punch each other up to the end. So how did it continue? G3, like I thought, yeah. Bishop E7. This is just for development. And of course, black needs to castle, but with this H5, I don't know. Well, Bishop G2, like I told you guys, I was totally correct about this. And B5, look how beautiful it is. Black is already going to attack. I mean, obviously, I don't know the evaluation because I'm not using an engine for this game. I'm just enjoying the game, explain what I can, and guys, accept my mistakes because after all, I'm not a grandmaster level player, right? Knight d5, and knight takes d5, queen takes d5. Wow. Very interesting. So attacking here, here, rook a7. Okay, so we see that there is a problem in pushing this right away. Bishop e3. Rook b7. Wow, that's strange. A strange move. Obviously, guys, I don't know. Probably it was the only move to play. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Ah, yeah, of course, because, sorry, bishop e3 is not a developing move. Bishop e3 is attacking. And the problem is that you cannot put it here because of this. So, again, probably b5 wasn't the move to play. Ay, ay, ay. So, it was too fast. You needed to wait a little in order to play that move. Because, honestly, this is what I tell you. The point of the opening is that you drop a piece in one place and you don't move it. If you have to continuously move it, that's not really gonna work, I think, right? So that's the problem. Queen d2, knight d7. Now we're skipping this and this, so I could play this. b3, wow. And knight f6. And oops, sorry, I think I made a mistake. Knight f6, and after which there is a castle on this side. Wow, that's amazing. So it's castling on that side, because it's controlling the dark squares. What a pity that this is behind this. So this is a bad bishop. Bad, bad, bad. So, and now he plays castle in the mouth of the lion, because he plays this and then castling, I don't know. Obviously, white played a move that would have made Alpha Zero proud, g4, and of course, our friend black is not stupid. It's really a beautiful game in a sense, and this kid is really playing well. Also, if for this movie it took 20 minutes, okay? So it's a little big. What did he do? He played h4. Why? Because he's trying to prevent that. Obviously, you don't play this because you don't want to die. But the problem is this and this, right? So obviously, to prevent this, he played this. But this is at a certain point, since he played b5, this is all attack and counter-attack. So it's possible that he should have left that there and play this. It's possible that maybe in those 20 minutes he was thinking, do I attack on this or do I defend this, prevent an attack on this side? I don't know. Obviously I don't know. I don't know, because as you can see, they teach us that the best thing is prophylaxis, right? You want to prophylax this, but maybe this is faster, and only an engine will tell you which of the two is the best. Why? Because only an engine is able to see 20 moves ahead and say, yeah, this was the right move to play. But how do you know it? I mean, how do you know it? Okay, so after h4, white played, oh, that's a problem. I didn't turn the chessboard and I'm seeing it from the wrong side. Because I'm watching the game from the black side, but the chessboard was from the white side, so it was a little difficult for me to swift. But now, here white played this. Maybe this is better. Why? Because this is again prophylaxis, since black has this kind of thing. Maybe not, I don't know. So let's see, this rook hg1, and here it seems that black played a novelty. The part that is interesting of the timestamps, guys, is that they tell us a story. What is the story? The story is that also if this move is a novelty, for which black used 9 minutes and 36 seconds, in reality the important thing that tell us is that black didn't remember this theory. So we have all these games in the mega base and so on, but they tell you the theory, but no human remembers it. Apart online, of course. Online, between the magical chair and the magical mouse, of course, all the players are rated 3000 and they remember everything perfectly. It's when they go to play OTB over the board that they don't remember, and I don't say the word because I would get censored and the video would lose viewers in this era of being correct. Also that I cannot tell what is the word before correct. Okay, so what does white play? No, fourth. Let's see one thing, because this is interesting. It seems that before this was the move played. Than this. The problem is that I don't understand, once you play this, why black didn't play this other move. This. Because this would be interesting to understand, right? Okay, I don't know. So I hope someone of you guys will give me the answer. Please don't use the engine. Why? Because we are trying to use our brains, because obviously the engines are always going to win no matter what. Okay, so knight h7 would be the move that was played in the game, and white immediately continue with f4. Why I tell you immediately? Because for this move, if I'm correct, it just took 10 seconds. So if I'm reading correct the timestamps, okay guys? So just be patient with me, because I'm not a miracle worker. Now, how should black continue here? Black played e takes f4, but probably this was stronger. So let's see what happens. It takes f4, and they took 2 minutes to take that pawn. And here also Jeffrey Xiong took his time, 3 minutes and 22 seconds, to answer. If you guys want to pause, this is not one of those tactical situations like in the game before, but I think it's much more useful for you guys to think what would you play and why. That would definitely make you play better, because that help you understand, right, the game, instead of just going fast over the moves. So it seems the best move was this, and Jeffery played it. Knight takes f4. Finally, black played rook d7. Okay, and now let's go a little down. Scroll, 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 scroll. Okay. And here, after nearly 5 minutes, our friend Jeffery played king b1. As you can see, king b1 is a move that I told you before, and he played it now. So sometimes it's a question of transpositions. How do you evaluate the position here? I evaluate the position as white is better. Why? Because all the black pieces are kind of cramped. They are on this last rank and 7th rank. They are doing nothing, right? The white pieces are much more active. For example, instead of king b1, probably he could have played knight d5, which seems much more active, right? And then, I don't know, I can enter here, I can do a lot of stuff, I think. But this is more active. Also, if this is probably is okay, I don't know. In any case, he played king b1. I think the white position is going to win because it's much more active. Then, of course, this kind of advantage can disappear if one doesn't play strongly, okay? Bishop g5, and here there is rook g f1, rook g f1. Once more, maybe this, probably better, because you don't want really to exchange this strong knight, right? So rook g f1, and what did black do? Black took 4 minutes to answer with rook e8. And now it's white turn. If I understand well the timestamp, here white took 16 minutes and 10 seconds. Now, I don't tell you to take 16 minutes to play the next move, but if I would be you, I would pause the video and think at least 5 minutes and decide what do you want to play. So what did white play? White, as you can see, he moved the king from here, so he already has a kind of plan. The move is queen f2. He's trying to move away probably the pieces from the diagonal to attack on the king side. But this is still defending this. Yet it's interesting, because maybe if he can remove this defender, this fall down, and then it's a mess. So let's see what happens, okay? So after nearly 4 minutes, black played bishop b7. And another 3 minutes, and white played bishop b6. Queen e7, 4 minutes. And now there is another move that white took a long time to play. It took 9 minutes and 46 seconds, practically 10 minutes, to play this. Knight d5. So guys, while I'm talking to you and while I'm telling you the timestamps, sometimes you can pause the video and think for yourself, just to make this kind of guess the move exercise. The guess the move exercise will make you improve of at least 100 points. Why? Because you are asking yourself questions and you are watching this game in a manner that is very proactive, instead of just watching the game and not thinking at all. No? That would be totally useless. Okay, now the question is, what does black do? Black, I don't know what he could have done, obviously, because I was not in his shoes, but black played this. To me, this move, bishop takes d5, I don't know. It's obviously maybe what was needed, but the problem is this. Are you going to take with this or with this? And why? For me, as a player that obviously is not strong like Jeffrey Xiong, and I still don't see what he... Yeah, he played the same idea that I play. Why would I play this? Because the thing is simple. This is a backward isolated pawn. Yes, this is isolated, but is protected and can go forward. This is backward isolated, so you can really pile up a lot of resources and make it fall down, in my opinion. That's a possibility. Or if you enter in the endgame with this thing, you should be able to win as white. And this is what some grandmasters do, right? They start to exchange all the pieces and bye-bye. Here black played bishop f6. It took 7 minutes to play this. And white took 3 minutes to play the next move. The next move is bishop d4. So after bishop d4, take d4, obviously white, that is a grandmaster, played immediately this. Because if you have 2 minutes, it took 2 minutes to play this. In 2 minutes you need to be able to decide a recapture, right? That's something that you must think right away. So this is also, watching this game will help you understand the thinking process. Okay, now it's black again. Black takes 7 minutes to play the next move, and the next move is knight g5. So here there is another interesting move, because white plays king b2 that I don't understand very well. Instead, I would have understood this move, rook e1. That I would have understood. But king b2, I don't understand it, honestly. Okay, obviously here you cannot... now I see why he played king b2. Because if you take, you have a chance, and the other guy does rook e1, you can practically play a knight c3 or knight d2 with this discovery check and pick up the rook, right? Instead, once king b2 is played, if white plays rook e1, or if he doesn't play rook e1, but you take, that's what I mean, you take, then he can play rook e1 and you cannot give a discovery check. That's why. Okay. So now I understand king b2. As you can see, sometimes it's difficult to understand immediately, but when you ask a question, what happens if I take here? He plays this, and then I have lost a piece. So here, black understood that there was this problem, knight takes e4, attack, and this is lost. And so he played this move, knight e6. Knight e6 is good because it protects this, attack this, so it does something, right? And here white continue to pile up on this one with this move. Queen d8. So do you understand why this move? Maybe it was better this, because it would have activated this piece. So this is the Makogonov principle. Which one is, which piece is the less active? You decide is this, you need to find a more active situation, no? Because you want to attack there. Here instead, black played this. This is a passive move, which I'm not saying it's wrong, but for me it's passive. The idea of this move is that black feels cramp. He feels that he's under attack, and the only way to dismount this attack, to make it wane and disappear, is to exchange attacking pieces. Okay, Now, it's possible that there was a possibility of a mistake. If here you become greedy and you play this, probably you are going to pay a little, okay? So don't be greedy when you play chess, because it doesn't pay. And white played queen takes d8. Rook e takes d8. Okay, and it's possible that white was at least in a hurry in winning, because if you notice, we are already at move 31 practically, and so I don't know, he played e5. This doesn't make sense as a move, because as you can see, he's putting pressure on this. Everything must defend that. So you just need the pressure, right? Or to move something else, like this. Because this is a weakness that you have fixed, right? And now you go on creating another weakness, and that's when you win the game, right? That's why. Okay, he played instead, after e5, he played knight c7. And probably this is wrong, it was better to play d takes e5. Rook takes d6, rook takes d6, e takes d6, and rook takes d6. And now we are in an endgame, which seems kind of drawish, right? Yeah, this is a queenside majority. They say a queenside majority in the middle game book by Ov, the former world champion. He says that you should win because you are able to convert one of a pawn and then go to promotion, right? But honestly, in another book they said it statistically is not true. So after king c3, knight e6, rook f2. Now I'm going a little faster, not because of anything, but just because maybe the endgame is too difficult to calculate and one needs time. For example, here he played king f8. Maybe this is the best move because it's much more active. Maybe. But again, you need time to calculate in an endgame. And as we can see, these guys really use a lot of time in the middle game and also in the opening. So what does white do in this position? This is the endgame. If it's the endgame, then the king becomes a very active piece. What does an active piece do? Attack. And here, king b4, in my opinion, it's a great move. g5, but as you can see, then you need to defend this. I don't know. King a5. So, guys, this is now a weakness that has been fixed. In order to win, white needs to create another weakness. Why? Because now black needs to use a piece or something to defend this, and the other pieces becomes more active and win on the other side probably. Knight f4, bishop f1. Obviously you don't want to exchange that bishop. King e7 and b4. Okay. Rook c6, a4, b takes a4, and now we see why it was important to move the bishop here. Watch what he did. He played c4, fantastic move. f5, g takes f5, rook f6, and c5. Rook takes f5, Rook f3. So it's preparing probably to do something with this. And also it's blocking that. So that's very, very interesting as a move. And here, wow, it's a long, long game. I thought it was 44 moves. No, it's much more. Rook f6, defending it. But you cannot really defend it, so I don't understand. Bishop takes a6, like I thought. And rook e6. Maybe, sorry guys, sorry. This is the move, because after you want to do this, tack, and then boom, you go to promote. But this move, rook e6, I don't know. b5, wow. And now really he starts to have a problem, big problem. Rook e5 and c6. Thank you very much. But maybe, yeah, c6. Because what if he plays this and then b6, tack, 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 it's over, right? So I don't know. He played c6, right? King d6, bishop b7, beautiful, and king c7. Wow. Maybe this was better because he controls the two square. Maybe, who knows. And after king c7, he played king a6. 95, okay. So he did it, he did 95. But it's too late, b6. Oh, obviously there is a tactic here. What does it mean? What does it mean? Oh, if you take rook here and you lose that, okay. So now I understand. King d6, king a7, now it's over practically. Rook e7, rook d3, and rook e8, after which there is c7, thank you very much. And the game is over. Yeah, I don't know, it's a beautiful game. As you can see, this is not even a question of studying the endgames. Also, if studying the endgames helps, I think studying the endgames help you to give you that kind of preparation that shows your confidence in how to play at a certain point that you need to push. But it was logical that you had to push those pawns because they are pass, right? If a pawn is pass, you need to push it. That's what Nintsovich says. Okay, now I will stop this video and I will make another one with some other games that I find interesting, and I hope you enjoyed these two games. Thank you very much for watching.